do your master's?
I did my master's in Cyprus.
What the hell is Cyprus?
Gurne American.
Some of us don't even know.
I'm Jatoka, Kenya.
Imagine. So Cyprus is in the States or Europe?
No, it's in Europe.
Europe.
And it's not even at the cusp. Cyprus is divided into two. There's the European side, which is the south side, and the north side. So me and my small money, we could only afford the north. Hey.
Okay. Because Europe, everything is expensive. It kind of gets expensive.
True.
Yeah.
True. So it's called the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus.
Okay.
See, it's like under Turkey, and it's not even recognized. But it's such a cool place. It was chill. The weather was not too harsh at Canada, Ivo. Yeah, it was just
somewhere
vibes.
where you can just actually cope without extremes.
Yeah. But lots of inflation, lots of international students, especially West African.
Oh, is that where you met the Nigerian boyfriend?
Right.
Wait, you guys, did you do the transplant in Turkey?
I did it in the TRNC. They're like...
What the hell is TRNC now?
This
it's
other
close
place
to?
now. Yeah, it's like it's like if Kenya adopts a country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like a subsidiary of Turkey. It's under Turkey, and it's not even recognized.
Okay, I get
Yeah.
you. But it's almost
by
like...
a few countries.
So, but I think that's a very popular... What would I say? Like, that's just something they've specialized in, that whole area from Turkey.
Yeah.
Because you've seen those memes of even people like guys who go to Turkey and Turkish Airlines. You just see
people. Yeah. So they basically just steal from each other and they relate. So essentially, it's like a small Turkey. It's a really small island. So that's why I did the transplant.
Okay, and even the study. How long was the master's? Did it for?
It was for like 2.5, but then I stayed there for 4 years. But I did a master's in international relations.
What?
Yeah. I was just like...
But that's the craziest part, because like even for me, I'm looking at your Instagram. I did not know what the hell it is exactly. Like, kumbe, you're studying from one thing to the other, because like you never posted anything to do with school.
Yeah.
Or even what you studied. Those are things that you never shared. So like for me, it was just like, she's just a contemporary model. And she posts probably one picture after every 2 months.
Hey.
So nothing crazy.
If that was how I was surviving, ningekufa kitu.
Okay, now, when you're in this country, and, I just want to still pick on questions like on how, like even when you're talking about surviving.
Yeah.
When you're in such countries, how do you make like extra pocket money? Because of course you can be supported here and there.
Yeah.
But is it something that you went out of your way to try and do like some certain gigs or needs to make extra cash? Because like we said, like everything there is extra. It costs extra money. But if you do want your to fashionable clothes, your to nenes, you have to do other to maybe things, maybe to nene money.
Actually, that's probably when I moved, I stopped posting. And I even like deactivated my Instagram because I wasn't balling like that. Kila kitu now was more expensive. And now you have to find ways to survive. Yeah. Context, you now realize there's racism. Yeah?
I was telling people, here, hey, I don't like Kenya. You wait. Yeah. Wait till you set your foot where somebody is looking at you and you're like, what have I done?
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you doing here?
I think the problem with Kenya is that you don't get those opportunities you want.
Yeah,
but when you go abroad, the opportunities are just close to you. A sneeze away. It's got to hapo.
Actually, if you're a hard worker, I think opportunity, it's almost impossible to not get opportunities. Because as a hard worker, you'll always kind of be rewarded there, which is opposed to Kenya. Yeah. No matter how hard you work, how many people with degrees, how many people wake up every day in the morning, but they're still frustrated.
No one cares. You need to know someone
Yep.
to get what you need.
Okay, so now when you mentioned racism, what kind of experiences were bad for you? Well, of course, because now that's when you get a bit homesick. And like you said, most people see people in, and I'm always saying, like, you've ever noticed once people go to Europe, and States, they don't post pictures as much as they used to in Kenya. Because now life starts lifing. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
It's not like a bed of roses until now. You figure something out.
Yeah.
But even there, before you figure something out, it's a whole new different playground.
Yeah.
And so what kind of experiences were bad for you?
I mean, you couldn't just get jobs, like the good jobs that pay you. And the laws there are also very unregulated for international students, you know. So unafanya kazi, the jobs you get ni waitressing, kuosha vyombo, cleaning, and then you get like 70 bob a day, you know, kind of things.
What do you mean by 70 what? 70 euros?
No, you know, they use lira.
Oh, they use lira.
Yeah,
there.
so you get like 100.
Okay. Which is equivalent to how much money in Kenyan money? If you can put it to context, so that people can understand.
When I first got into the country, it was like 1 Kenya shilling was equals to 5 lira. But then, hey, you know, there was a time where the Turkish economy had a deep plunge.
Yeah.
So the inflation was crazy. You just sleep, umeamka 10 bob. Lalo 11, you know, kila siku ina increase.
Yeah.
So now I have no idea. Now,
but it was money that I'm thinking maybe in context of like let's say equivalent to Kenyan money. It was money enough for you to buy food, you can shop for clothes, it was just to survive.
For sure, I couldn't pay rent and electric. I used to pay bills and food and like thrift.
But kind of like enough for you to go back to work. Kesho, we can just say that, right?
Yeah.
So not at a lot of nini.
Yeah, because I used to work in this place.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Tell me.
Like it was a dilapidated place, but they're very, very old. And they were just like old men who came to play poker. So my work was to make them coffee, kuhesabu, keep track of the
chips.
Yes, to give them chips, to collect chips, to empty their ashes because they smoke a lot. That chum.
That job, but and that's why I think I'm always saying that. I think like just so many other like young girls need to understand like, just ask people who've gone out there. Don't just start saying you have this fantasy that you've painted in your head. Like if you land in Europe, things are going to be like this and this. Because I'm like I was telling you, like when I did the Euro trip, I was just trying to wonder because there's some shops I remember I was just like when I go in, I'm like, where are the black people by the Kwani, where are they? Because I know immigrants are here. But now once you start peeping like uko back door, the people are stocking shelves. Like you said, kwa like, you know, kitchen, you'll see uko behind, you're like, okay. And then you're like, that's the most that they can do. Because I think for those countries, what they normally do, maybe I'm wrong, they're like our people first to get the opportunities. Anybody else can get, but after our people at the forefront.
And here in Kenya, it's the opposite.
Exactly opposite.
It's the opposite. Imagine. And context, actually, I can say my background, we are doing like relatively well. So my parents could send me something to pay my rent, to buy one thing or the other. But there were lots and lots of international students, and I'm speaking in the context of females, that had to do the most, you know? You know what I mean, guys? Like
no, we don't.
Like they had to resort to things like prostitution, or just, you know, anything goes because you need money.
Anything to make that extra money.
And so so the island was like a small sin city. Like now the Nigerian guys with the gold and the
of course
nice cars, and so as a female unajiattach hivi kama tick, you're like my man. Yeah, you attach because you already know these guys will give you everything you need. They'll pay for you, they'll get you the good phones, you'll survive. But then in the process you also end up like tolerating so much shit for sure. Yeah. And so sometimes
you're zoning out, first of all. Is it because are you talking of personal experience?
No, for sure no.
Or things that you've seen maybe.
Yeah, but I've seen. I even used to work for like this international organization. They are called Voice Cyprus, which helped to like help international students. Sometimes they had students sleeping outside. Kama msichana, that's not
outside
good.
Like how outside?
Like umetupwa, you can't pay the rent.
Oh, sorry, now
umefukuzwa, now you're there outside with your two things.
Waiting for maybe classes, but still you're literally you're in school
homeless.
But homeless.
Yeah, you're in school but you're homeless.
I'm always talking about those things. By the sorry to interrupt you, huh?
Yeah, and so there was lots of that. But unakaa tu hapo nje, you're hoping, you're praying, and then your people don't understand.
They don't.
Wesu, you're abroad. Mbona una pesa? So we had like una work so much, and actually sometimes I used to walk in the street, and if you go see my page and see my style, hata tu tuanzie tu hapo. Just I like actually now I'm just like channeling my inner femininity.
Yeah.
But I like big things and baggy things.
Like, yeah. The thought of like Yan is just something like
unatembea kwa street, then a car just stops you and they ask you, sex, money?
How much? How much?
Sex, money. Such kind of things. And is it
something that they've kind of like identify where they identify like an international student? I hear like kwanza, especially if they see like black girls, they just assume like you're a prostitute immediately. For sure. And they'll just now actually ask like how much, because they know all black girls. Yeah. That's what they do. Yeah.
You're black?
Yep.
Tutakuuliza.
Without hesitation, like the first thing they ask, like how much?
Unprovoked. So sometimes, nimeamka tu, I'm going to the market. An old
minding your own business, yeah.
Yeah, so some people really had to do what they had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you want, like, unafikiria, so I'll go back home and do what?
Yep.
Yeah, so those were the challenges there. Survive too, you try to know people. Yeah.
But would you say like just it's okay, so if let's say you're going there to study, relatively the only way you can say like you can just be at peace studying is like if your family is doing really, really good.
Yeah, I don't recommend going there. Because
even middle class, it's always okay, because you can always, and I'm always talking about this as well, like there's nothing wrong with middle class, but once you are out there, you have to understand now you're operating as an adult, because like we said, okay, parents can foot bills for this and that, but you can't call them and say like, I've seen that Zara has a sale.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
So for you, you'll be like, okay, so what can I do to get this nini? Maybe you have a small medical emergency.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at it, it's like, okay, yes, they can send me money, but I also have to be a responsible adult and figure out how I can do this on my own. Because now you have friends here who are hustling. Some are doing this and that. You don't want to be that friends like.
Yeah, and it's inevitable. Like, as long as you live, you need things.
And the needs keep increasing, honestly speaking, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just the budget like how you used to be like in primary. You say like, I'm being given pocket money for 2. So how much? You go buy 2 mandazis and then you're back in school. You're home, you're good. No, things just keep changing. And that's why I think it's so important for anyone who's always like traveling. I think ask them before you even go somewhere. It's like, hey, by the way, how's the experience there? Because at times I'm always seeing people say, I'm so excited going somewhere. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't think, especially if like someone who's like, I know you can't even take care of yourself. How are you supposed to survive there? you'll be just sex trafficked, first of all. Once you just land like this, sex traffic.
There's also a lot of that, actually.
Yep.
So there are nuances you have to keep abreast of. But if it's possible, if you get the chance to go, na it's a good chance. Such as the agents, sijui wanakupeleka.
My agents, it's daily,
at Middle East. Just, if you are able, I recommend really going out. It's a good experience.
Yeah.
You learn things, you see world in a different perspective. And kidogo, your mind expands.
True.
Like for sure, if I hadn't gone, there's some things I wouldn't have known or seen. For sure.
Like what?
Just...
Like just how has your mind changed and maybe what you'd say you've learned just to be?
Like I know there's something better. Like we could be better as a country, for example.
Yeah.
Juu kama huko, sometimes I couldn't sleep naamka like 3 a.m. with my diary, natembea hadi kwa sea, niko, dear diary, it's
you just stroll and really.
It was vibes. You can walk anytime. Niko tunatembea na simu. If you leave something somewhere, they'll always... And they keep it very clean. And that country cares about its people. Woo!
Yep.
Hey? Ati there's something that has happened in this area. Quick work. You saw the story of the fire that happened in Embakasi.
Yeah.
They are being given 10,000 ama.
It was 5,000. It was 5,000. I mean, like Paka was just like, because like in any other country, that kind of lawsuit. Kwanza, you're set for life.
Yeah.
Because they'll pay at least everyone at least close to $1 million.
For sure.
Yeah, like some countries don't even play at all. And that company probably is going to file bankruptcy immediately. Because you'll pay probably half and the government will chip in with the rest.
Yeah.
But people will be compensated, those ones of like, even if your finger has been affected and this is what used to make you actually like earn money, whether it's typing or whatever.
Yeah.
Compensate that guy till he dies.
I think a lawsuit should be...
That's now in Kenya.
But that bothers me so much. And in Kenya, you just live like a kamnyama.
Yeah.
Ukae, ukufe.
Especially for someone who studied law. I think now when you look, the way you're saying, like, you see how other countries are operating, and then you come to Kenya, and then you're like, what?
Imagine the laws there, they just don't cover us. Wewe as an international going there, wewe wako, we will fix you, you have to lobby. Uku, even those citizens, you as a citizen.
It's a whole different story, right?
Yeah.
A whole different story.
Yeah.
But now also like another question, and of course this one